Hey friends, welcome back to Acre Homestead. My name is Becky and today we're going to head to my mom's house and we are going to do a ton of cooking. I'm just getting all my stuff together so that we can do that. It's my husband's birthday party this weekend and I wasn't going to actually be doing any of the cooking except for making some no-knead bread, which is super easy to throw together for his party because I've just been so busy, and so my mom was going to take care of it and my sisters were going to take care of it. And yesterday I was sitting at my desk working and my mom's like, do you want to come over and help me cook? And I said, of course I do. I'm going to put my work aside and we're going to go have a good time together. So I'm just collecting all my stuff. My mom wants eggs, and anytime my mom asks for eggs, she gets eggs. So I need to wash these up real quick and then we're going to head over to my mom's house. Just got here, broke a mason jar, of course. Day's starting really well. I hope that is not a prediction of what the day is going to look like, but I think we're going to have a good time. It's not unlike me to break at least one thing a day. My husband finds it extraordinarily impressive. Hey, Mom.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Or are those for me? Oh, wow. Look at how organized she is. Let me show you. I think we're doing a lot of stuff here. It looks like because I was a little bit later, she kind of got everything prepped. Good job, Mom. It looks really nice in here.
I didn't do any prepping except for tonight's dinner.
Well, I mean, you got everything out.
Yes, I did get everything out for the most part. And I made a list. You know, I'm the list queen. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to make Josh's birthday cake. We're going to make the lasagna sauce and all the parts for the lasagna, grate the cheese, mix the ricotta, cook the pasta. Although I was just looking up while I was waiting because you weren't here to see if we could not cook the pasta noodles that are regular noodles.
I never do.
You never cook regular?
Nope.
Because I know Sarah does the gluten-free ones that she doesn't cook because her kids can't do gluten.
Did you buy the wrinkly ones or the flat ones?
The wrinkly ones.
Yeah, you don't have to cook them.
Oh, yay! Perfect. Okay, we can scratch that right off. I haven't made lasagna in many years, and I've always boiled it first. And what else we have going on is tomorrow, Becky's sister is coming with her family to stay Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because they've listed their house. And it's really hard to keep your house neat and tidy for showings with a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old with lots of Legos. So they're going to come and hang out with me, and because they'll be here and I want to play with them, I'm going to do as much of the food prep as I can in advance. So we're doing 2 food preps. We're doing the birthday party, which is while they're here, while the Becky's sister's here and her family. We aren't going to be able to do Josh's birthday party here like we normally would. Because my neighbor's mother passed away a couple weeks ago, they are doing a family memorial service at their house on the day we're going to do Josh's birthday party. And they had asked, could they park in our driveway because there's not a lot of parking here. So I said, perfect, you can park on my driveway.
Oh, she's doing swim lessons? Yeah. So if you guys don't know, I taught swim lessons for years. And you know where Esther and I went last night? You'll never believe. We went to Mount Scott.
Did you go swim it?
You're kidding. No. Esther, my friend, the one who I made all those freezer meals for her second baby, she texted me and was like, do you want to go swimming? Because we grew up swim team and teaching swim lessons and everything like that. And she had never been to the pool, one of the pools I worked at growing up. I used to teach swim lessons and that doesn't work. Anyway, we went swimming there.
You have to unscrew this enough to slide this part in and have it go all the way in, and then you screw it tight.
Oh, cool.
And then you lift this, and this is the latch to hold that in.
Awesome. Okay, good to know. So I'm going to grate the cheese for the lasagna.
One of my daughters just sent me pictures of her 16-month-old's first swimming lesson.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yes.
It's always good to teach them really young to get their face in the water and blowing bubbles. The cool thing about this, as opposed to using my food processor like I used to do, is there's no maximum capacity. You can get a huge bowl and do a ton at one time. While I am doing this, my mom is prepping the dry ingredients for the cake. My mom is making her famous chocolate cake. We call it Leah's chocolate cake, and it's the one that I made into cupcakes for my sister-in-law's baby shower. It is so good. I will link it down below if you want to make it. She's going to do a 3-tiered cake, and she does a great job. It's going to be really beautiful when it's done. I wanted to get the cheese grated in here so my mom could make the cake in here, and we have this ready to go. Now I'm going to get the sauce made for the lasagna. In here, we are going to put some hot Italian sausage. It looks like my mom has sweet and 2 sweet Italian sausages. I'm not going to do anything fancy in here. I'm just going to put this meat right in this pan.
Well, I was going to do it directly in the big pan so you could do it all together. But if
You don't think all the sauce will fit in here?
no, probably not.
Oh, then let's.
Lasagnas.
Let's.
That's why I got this one out.
Oh, I can do it in here. I can do it in whatever one you want.
Yeah. Well, I just think.
I thought this was for the noodles.
Well, we don't have to cook the noodles.
I know. Ooh, that's hot.
Let's not have a trip to the emergency.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put it in here.
I'm all about, like Becky, I'm all about less dirty dishes.
Well, I just made that dirty. I'm gonna take the hot Italian sausage out of the casing.
Yeah. You'll notice my canisters are glass jars. I've had them forever. I like them. The disadvantage is that you can't fit the measuring cup in there.
That's why I don't like them.
I know, Becky's got those nice square ones, but I've had these, my cupboard's full of them.
They're pickle jars, aren't they?
Well, I bought them at Bob's Red Mill that have not been used.
Oh.
So they don't smell like pickles. I originally had pickle jars. And the lids, you just can't get the pickle odor out of the lids. And you don't want your flour or your brown sugar smelling like pickles. So I've had these for a very long time and they're very pretty. So I just don't want to spend the money to redo it. But I really like Becky's idea.
I didn't know you liked mine.
Oh, I do. Because it's easier.
Yeah.
What I need is, I got these measuring spoons, and I know Becky has linked these before. They fit inside my spice jars. What I need is that shape of measuring cups.
I chopped some onions up to put in our sauce. Mom, do you have one of those chopper things?
I don't have one of those either. I use my pastry butter.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Do you see how brown this sausage is? When you're browning your meat, you want it that dark. You don't want it just the color brown. Look at this really cool garlic that my mom has. It's whole garlic cloves that are already peeled and she keeps it in her freezer.
Learned the hard way that this one zipper is not enough.
Oh, to keep it from smelling in your freezer?
Yeah, to keep my freezer from smelling like garlic.
I'm working on the filling for the lasagna. I have my ricotta in here. I'm going to chop up a bunch of fresh basil my mom has. We're going to add salt and pepper and an egg or two.
I better wash it up in there. Now they're nice and pretty. Nothing prettier than a fresh egg. It doesn't show up as well as I thought, but this was beat for probably 5 minutes. And this is what I scraped off from around the bowl. There's a better picture. You can see it's a lot lighter. The stuff that wasn't beat from the sides of the bowl is a lot browner and crunchier looking. I could sample it, but I'm sure there would be bigger pieces of the brown sugar. And the difference is this is really light and fluffy.
So this garlic hasn't even been out of the freezer for 5 minutes and it's already way easy enough to chop up. So I think this is a cool...
You could save your garlic that way.
Yeah.
A lot less work.
Yeah, this is really nice. I'm going to put 2 eggs in with the ricotta. I'm saving these eggs. I'm going to bring them back home and give them to my chickens. Is the cake done?
Just about. Just about. I have to pour in the boiling water. It's going to turn magic here in a minute. The trick is to put a little spray in the bottom because I want to make sure that this paper, the parchment paper, is totally and completely flat and stuck to the bottom. If you don't put spray down first, it doesn't stay flat. It lifts up. And when you put the batter in, where it's lifted up, the batter isn't heavy enough to push the paper down. And then you have a layer that is a ½ inch shorter on one side than the other. And it's really hard to make a flat cake.
Ready?
Yes. It goes in slowly, and you have to stir it slowly, as slow as possible so it doesn't spray all over the place. If the mixer's going too fast, voice of experience, stop, stop. And then I did the button the wrong way because I was on the wrong side of the mixer. Well, chocolate batter went everywhere, including my face.
Today is Wednesday and the party is on Saturday. And so my mom is going to bake these cakes. We're going to let them cool completely. And then she will make the frosting and frost these on Saturday before the party. She can frost these cakes in the morning from frozen. And then by the time it's dessert time after dinner, then they will be perfectly thawed. While the meat is cooking, I'm going to add the stems of the basil because they have flavor in them too. And I'll take them out when we go to layer our lasagna. But in the meantime, they'll be in there just imparting some yummy flavor. My mom is getting the cookies going and she's not going to bake the cookies today.
Yeah, my neighbors have a funeral on Saturday, the day of Josh's birthday party. And so we can't have the birthday party here because they need our parking space for their family. And when I found out they were having the memorial service, I offered to contribute some food because I love to feed the people I love. And they declined because it was catered. So I asked, well, can I just bake something for you all now? And I listed some cookies because she said, oh, my husband would just love some comfort food. How about some cookies? So I listed some cookies. And one I said was peanut butter chocolate kiss cookies. And she replied right away, I see a few tears. His mama used to make these cookies for him when he was a child, and he would love some. So I made some that day and sent them over. So I'm making some today, but the funeral's not till Saturday. So I'm going to make the dough balls and freeze them. And then early in the morning on the day of, I will take them out, thaw them, bake them, put the chocolate kisses on, deliver them warm in time for the service. I didn't measure that water for the cake. Did you look and see how much it was?
No. How much?
It was supposed to be.
It was
looking at that.
It was like up
supposed to be 1 1/3.
Oh, it was probably close to that. It was somewhere in here.
Well, 1 1/3 is
right here.
Oh, that's 3/4. 1 1/3 is down here. Might have to bake that cake a little longer.
Talk about completely stressful. It's important to make sure you measure your ingredients. I just happened to assume that the water was pre-measured when it was put in the microwave to boil it. So we're just going to see how it turns out. Are we going to have to make this cake again? I don't know. All right, friends, we are going to give this a taste test and see how it is. I didn't add any like oregano or anything like that.
I have lots of Italian seasoning if it needs it.
It's good. I think it needs a little bit more salt. And I think I'm going to add that roasted garlic powder that is oh so good. Some Italian seasoning. My mom has a beautiful spice drawer. I would love to have a spice drawer someday.
It is nice. And I'll tell you what helps considerably is these spacers. These are curtain rods, tension curtain rods. So it was a relatively inexpensive addition to the spices. I keep them in alphabetical order except for a few odd things up here. Then the rest of my spices, oh, it's kind of a mess, are there.
Your bulk spices?
Yeah, this is bulk to refill. These are the empties. And then this is big stuff that takes up too much room in the bottom.
Do you have more of this, or you might want to put it on your list? Because I
probably have more.
Okay.
I'll look up in the bag. Up there in that place.
All right, I gotta get a new spoon. I think it was the salt mostly that it needed, but that, you gotta add that roasted garlic powder. Now, ooh, that's hot. I'm not used to having a gas stove. Let's go ahead and we'll assemble our lasagnas. Yeah. I learned this trick that you don't have to buy the oven ready noodles from you all. I had asked a question in one of my freezer videos, and a bunch of you had said you never buy the oven ready. You just use the regular and they turn out just fine. So that's what I've been doing ever since then, and it works great.
That's great news for me because lasagna is one of my husband's favorite meals, but I don't make it very often because it's just such a big production.
It's really only the boiling the noodles that's the difficult part.
Yes, it's a mess, and you handle the soft, rubbery noodles, and it's slimy, and it's water everywhere.
So I have my assembly here. We have the red sauce here. We're gonna do 2 pans because I think there's a lot of us. I don't know exactly how many. And we'll have a huge salad. My sister-in-law makes a really good Caesar salad.
You should get her recipe.
I will.
And put it and link it because it is
so good.
It is the best dressing. She actually uses anchovies. It's the best. She takes the bread and brushes it with olive oil and toasts it and then cuts up the croutons.
Yeah, she makes croutons and they're so good. Traditional Caesar dressing has anchovies in it, but if you don't want to use the anchovies, you can get that same flavor with using Worcestershire sauce, because if you don't know, Worcestershire sauce is fermented anchovies and red onions.
Shh, don't tell Papa, because that's why he doesn't like traditional Caesar salad is the anchovies.
Well, he's been eating it for years.
Yeah, well, he doesn't like the one that's really creamy, but I make one that's everything else, the same ingredients, minus the mayonnaise. Just use olive oil.
Yeah, my mom has a really good Caesar dressing. It's like more of a vinaigrette style Caesar dressing. Because my dad doesn't like mayonnaise or sour cream.
Yeah, creamy stuff like that.
He does eat ricotta cheese though.
Yeah, if it's not really thick, and that's why I didn't buy a whole bunch, so it won't be too thick.
Okay.
When making cookies, this is a game changer.
Yeah, it is.
They all come out the same size. You can make a cookie plate that looks like it came from a bakery when they all come out the same size.
I think I could have gotten away with only using 3 jars of sauce.
They are looking perfect. Let's do a test.
They're pretty jiggly.
They're pretty jiggly. We'll just leave them in.
We're using foil pans because we're going and baking these at my sister's house, and that way she doesn't have to worry about, washing dishes or my mom having to bring home dirty dishes or washing them there or anything like that. Just make it a little easier on everybody.
One time I tried to make these by putting the chocolate kiss on before baking.
Oh no.
Well, it wasn't as good. I mean, kids ate it, they didn't care, but it's worth doing it afterwards. The texture of the chocolate is a lot better. It actually melts creamy, and that was the thing my neighbor said. She texted me back after we dropped the plate of cookies off, and she said she had never had them warm and fresh like that. She'd only had them after they had cooled, and she said the gooey chocolate was heavenly. And I told her my favorite way is to take my finger and spread the chocolate over the whole cookie.
That's a good idea.
When it's soft, so you have chocolate in every bite. Since I need the chocolates peeled, I'm going to do that right now and put them there so everything is all ready.
Oh, good idea. The lasagnas need to cool a little bit before I put them in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna get going on the pork. These are for tomorrow, and the refried beans. My mom said are gonna be over here for dinner because they're gonna stay here for a few days while their house is on the market, and it's gonna sell quickly. And so I'm gonna get these going. It looks like we're making, oh wow, this looks like a good recipe.
It is well, you've had it a lot. It's very good. It's yummy.
It has pork, garlic, onions, tomatoes, chipotle peppers, orange juice, chili powder, salt, cumin, dried oregano, pepper, and 2 bay leaves. So we're gonna get that in the crock pot so that since we have the kitchen already messy, we'll be able to just get it all messy today, and then my mom can clean it up and she can just turn the crock pot on tomorrow. And the refried beans have a bunch of the same ingredients. So I'm gonna get everything out and we're gonna get these 2 crock pots going. My dad just stopped and brought me some coffee, which is awesome. And we are going to put in here, I'm gonna do the carne asada in this red crock pot. I've got some of those frozen garlic cloves. They're not frozen anymore, but I'm just gonna throw those in there. And then I'm gonna, it says to put these in wedges on this recipe.
You're going to blend the sauce when it's all done.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have to be fancy at all. I just
Okay.
cut it in quarters and stick it in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let's check that cake again.
Oh, okay, let's see. I just hope like the outsides don't get dry or something. How's it feel? Actually, it feels pretty good.
It does. I think it's perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
Okay, that was stressful. Didn't really want to have to make that again. I'm just gonna roughly chop. My mom took the cakes out of the oven and we're gonna have them rest on the counter for 10 minutes. You want the cakes to rest for 10 minutes before you try to take them out, and that's usually the perfect amount of time for them to cool enough to release from the side of the pan, but not long enough for them to get hard back on the pan.
Taking these cookies to the refrigerator, 2 layers of dough balls. The kisses are peeled, and the day of the funeral, I'll pop them in the oven and take them over warm.
So my mom was saying that what she does with this marinade, with this pork, after it's done cooking, is she takes the meat out and she shreds the meat, and then she takes the sauce and she blends all of the goodies that are in the sauce up together, and then she pours that sauce back over. That was 1 thing of orange juice. I'm gonna put a whole can of chipotle peppers. If you guys have never eaten chipotle peppers, you're missing out. They're so good. This is the brand I like too. The brand I have at my house right now, I don't like. This is the brand you wanna get. I think you can probably get it at most grocery stores. But the chipotle peppers, what a chipotle pepper is it's a smoked, dried jalapeno. And then when it's in this adobo sauce is kind of like a vinegary based sauce. And it has other like spices in it, it says, just as spices. So then we're gonna add 1 can of diced tomatoes. And my mom said juice and all. Goes right in there. This would make a really good freezer meal. My mom said if you didn't want to cook it first, but my mom did mention that she's making way more meat than she needs for what they're gonna eat tomorrow for dinner. But whatever's left over, she's gonna freeze the meat already cooked. But you could do this without cooking it if you wanted to. But it's pretty easy just to throw together.
Watch this. Perfecto.
Ooh, steamy. I just put in 2 bay leaves. I'm gonna put quite a bit of salt, pepper, chili powder. We need 3 tablespoons, but this is more than doubled the recipe with the amount of meat in here. So I'm gonna put that whole thing. Mexican oregano.
The edges are soft, Becky.
And what else? I don't know if we need anything else. I think that's everything. That's it. So I'm gonna stir it up, and this is done and ready to go for tomorrow. My mom is prepping dinner for tonight at the same time, so since we're in the kitchen, she might as well get it all messy. And they're having a copycat salad from where?
Panera.
Oh, which one?
It's a copycat salad. It's called Spicy Thai Salad.
Oh, yummy.
From Panera. I'm gonna saute the chicken, cook it, and then I'm gonna take them out, let it cool, slice it. And then I'm gonna put in those vegetables, carrots and red peppers, and I'm gonna cook those. And then I'll refrigerate them. And then it goes on a bed of romaine and spinach. And this is the dressing: peanut butter, soy sauce, lime, rice wine vinegar, and sesame oil.
Yep.
And then I always like that sweet Thai chili sauce, you know, the big bottle, to put on as well.
I forgot to add cumin to this, so I'm gonna add the cumin to our meat. And we're gonna get the beans going in here. We need 2 cups of beans. jalapeno, bunch of garlic, oregano, Mexican oregano, onion powder. Supposed to put a regular onion in there, but it's in the meat. My mom didn't have an extra one. Cumin. And you always salt your beans after they're cooked. Now we're gonna put 9 cups of water in here. We have all the food basically prepped at this point, so we take some time to clean up. My dad is fantastic. He generally likes to get his stuff done while we're doing the bulk of the cooking, and then he'll show up right around cleanup time, and he will always help with the dishes. It's great. He likes to sweep and mop the floors too, which is pretty awesome. So my mom and I, we get the fun part of the cooking, and then he gets to come in and clean up after us. We typically then will head off to lunch, and I am going to show you how my mom is going to package up all the food. She read your guys' comments when I had the cheese stuck to, I don't remember what it was that I made, that you should put a piece of parchment paper down or wax paper, and then just remember to take that off before you bake it, before you put the foil on, and that protects your food. And I'm definitely going to do that moving forward. We got so much done today. My mom has dinner for tomorrow, dinner for tonight, the cakes for the party, the lasagna for the party. My sister-in-law is going to be doing a salad, and I'm going to be doing the bread, and I'm going to show you all of that pulled together. My mom is going to cook these today, even though they're for tomorrow, because she doesn't have room in her crock pots, or in her refrigerators for the crock pots. And then she'll just rewarm them up tomorrow for dinner. Are you making a cabbage salad for tomorrow?
Mexican slaw.
Mexican slaw.
I'll send Becky the recipe. It's really good.
All the recipes that we use today, I'll link down in the description box for you. I wasn't planning to have dinner with my parents. I was just helping my mom do all the cooking, but circumstances changed, so I stopped over for dinner so I could show you what the dinner looked like all pulled together. I made some dessert, and so I brought that over as well. Friends, it's time to make the bread. Last night I should say, I went ahead and I got the no-knead bread ready to go. All we have to do today is shape it, and then we're gonna head out. I just got this apron and now I can't figure out how to, did I put it on backwards? Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, just got this apron. I went thrifting with my mother-in-law and I thought it was super cute. So let's get this bread ready for the party. If you've never made bread before, this is the bread recipe for you. You're going to be able to whip it together super quickly. It's extremely hard to mess up, and you're going to get a little bit of confidence in bread baking. This is called a no-knead bread recipe. You put your flour, yeast, salt, and water in a bowl the night before or early morning of the day you want to cook it, and you let it sit. You barely have to mix it at all, and then you put it on a floured surface, and you take the dough and you fold it in on top of itself until it creates a smooth top. There's no real shaping other than this. Super, super easy. This was a little bit stickier because I was experimenting with whole wheat flour this time. It was the first time I've made this recipe with whole wheat flour, and it still turned out absolutely stunning. So go try this bread recipe if you want a really delicious, easy bread that you can whip up in minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna get these baking. I had them just sitting in the bottom oven, kind of nice and warm. Well, I have the Dutch ovens heating up at 415 degrees. They're gonna bake for 30 minutes. We're gonna take the lid off, and then we're gonna bake them for another 15 so it gets nice and brown and crusty. I got a box with some towels in it. I would let this bread probably cook a few more minutes, but they're texting me and telling me that dinner's ready, so I got to get some moving. Well, oh no, it's done. Let me show you. Perfect. Very, 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 very hot. Very hot. I would probably let it get a little browner, but that's okay. It's going to taste really good. Get that out of there. Look how beautiful. This one's a little browner. we'll see you at the party. Here is the beautiful cake that my mom made. She did on accident sit in it, but that's okay. It's turned out stunning. And then we have our bread she's cutting up, and it looks so good, steamy and delicious. You really are supposed to let your bread cool completely before you cut into it, but this entire loaf is going to be eaten at this sitting, so no problem in getting it cut up for hot bread for dinner. My sister-in-law made her famous Caesar salad dressing recipe, and this was a beautiful birthday dinner for Josh. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and my mom again as we made a bunch of food, had a couple parties along the way, and just enjoyed hanging out together with you. If you want to watch more of our videos, I'll put a few more up here. You can go enjoy those. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye, guys.